Alright humans, so booleans are just the keywords hash true or hash false. So you can store these into variables if you want. So true, B to be false, hit Control R. If we type in A, we get true, and B to be false. No surprises there, but most often the case is that they're the results of comparison functions. So let me define a variable called health, set that equal to 100. And I'm going to say, is health greater than 0? Well, health is 100, and 100 is greater than 0. So we hit Control R, you will get true. No surprises there. There's also equal to, so is health equal to 0? Hit Control R, well, it's equal to false, alright? So what these comparisons mean, in a sense, is this is the case where you're alive in a video game, and this is the case where you're dead, alright? There's also less than, so 1 and 2. So is 1 less than 2? Yeah, it is. So we hit Control R. The third one is true, because that is this one. Alright. There's also greater than or equal to. So let's say 3 and 3. So is 3 greater than or equal to 3? Well, the or equal part is true, so we do get true. Alright. And if this is 2, let me just keep going down. Whoops. Is 3 greater than or equal to 2? It also is, yeah, because it satisfies the greater than at least. So that will also be true right here, right? Alright. There's also less than equal. And that does the same thing, but in the opposite way, right? So is 1 less than or equal to 2? Well, yeah, it is. The less than part at least. So we get another true here. And alright. There's also comparisons for strings, so let me define a username. Let's say someone's trying to log in with Bob123, and let's do a string equal question mark. Username Bob123. So they're trying to log in, and we see if their username matches this one. Hit Control R, and we should get true, alright? No surprises there. If it is like one character off, of course that's going to produce false. Let's say someone's trying to log in with Bob123, but we only have an existing user of Bob124. Hit Control R and we should get false, alright? This right here. Okay. Lastly, we have comparisons on the type. So string question mark, ASDF. If we hit Control R, we should get true because this is a string. If we gave it a number, right, 1, 2, is 12 a string? Well, this will return false. Alright. There's also one for number. So number. So is the thing I'm given a number? Well, 999 is a number, so true. Alright. Let's do one for the false one too. Bob 1, 2. That's going to be false because it's not a number. It's a string. Alright. There's also one for booleans. So, whoops. Boolean question mark is hash true. Oh, it is, because this is a boolean. So this was hash false. This would also produce true. Hit Control R right here. Still true because it's still a boolean. Alright? But if we do it, if we give it anything else, like a string or something, or a number, let's do a string, like F, hit Control R. Well, that's not a boolean, that's a string. So that's why we get false. So you want to be careful about this, because string equals question mark. That compares the contents of these two strings, right? But without the equal sign, we test the type of, alright? Just to be cautious, because there's only one character difference here. So operations that produce booleans are called predicates. And in Racket, you can tell that easily if they have a question mark in their names, right? You'll just know right away, oh, this is going to result into a Boolean value. So Booleans also go hand in hand with conditional expressions like if. So to make an if expression, let me just give myself some space, is open parenthesis, the keyword if, a question expression, and 2 other expressions. exp2 followed by a closing parenthesis. So the first expression must either be a Boolean or must eventually produce a Boolean, right? And these two other expressions are, if this is true, this question expression is true, then we're going to take the true branch. Otherwise, we're going to take the false branch. Let's do a demonstration. So if string equal question mark, username, Bob123, we're going to type in success login, all right? So this is this exp1, we're going to do exp2 for the false case. So here, username not found. All right, if I hit Control R, this is going to be true, and we should get success login, all right? So we do. So you can see that Racket also highlighted this thing in black. Don't worry about that, just ignore it for now. We're going to go over that later on. All right, so if this is like Bob124, it's going to take this second expression, all right, exp2 instead. So if I hit Control R, we should no longer see success login. We should see username not found. All right. So you can also space out your if expression. Let me demonstrate that. So if hash true, hit enter. This is the true branch. So I'm going to say I am the true branch. All right. Hit enter. This is the second expression right here. We're just adding spaces to our code to make it more readable. Okay, so we hit run. If true, then we're going to take the first expression. But we spaced it out here. It's going to be the same thing. Spacing really doesn't matter. So it says I am the true branch. If this is false, hit Control R, we get the I am the false branch. All right. No surprises there. So you can space out your code however much you want, as long as your parentheses are wrapped right. All right. Just make sure there's a closing parenthesis every time there's an opening one. All right, so let's do a few practice problems. You want to go ahead and go to justlearn.com/how_code. That will be linked in the description. We're on if bool comparisons, all right? Go ahead and click that. And here it is. So it says evaluate and input a quoted string, number, or Boolean, which is either true or false, right? So if this is true, then we're going to take Puba. So the answer here is Puba, because HJUF is equal to HJUF with the string equal, all right? So the answer is, quote, Puba, because we're going to take this branch. Go ahead and check. We got it right, all right. So let's do a second problem. Pause the video and so you guys can see what this produces. I'm going to go over spoilers in 3, 2, and 1. All right. So assume that you guys took a good swing at it. So if string equal LWQZ ICIY. So this is going to be false. Let me just copy and paste this to the editor just to show the flow of how it's processing it. So this thing is going to be false. And then we're going to get this branch, right? Hash true. So that's not the answer. Hash true is not the answer here. It's this. All right, so true. So yeah, it might confuse you that you might type in hash true because that's what it is. That's just a shorthand for the keyword true, all right? And next. So this one, let's see if you can pause the video and beat me to the solution. I'm gonna go over spoilers in 3, 2, and 1. All right, I'm gonna copy and paste this one into our editor. Do one right here. All right. So does this expression equal true? If it does, we're going to do the true branch, which is the answer is going to be false. Or is it 3? So let's just evaluate this. I'm kind of too lazy to do it, but I'll just do it anyways to show you guys. So left to right again. This is less than equal to. Takes 2 sub-expressions. So we have to go left to right and evaluate this. This is 14. All right, and then this would be equal to 140. So the string length of this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this would be equal to 9. All right. So now here is 140 less than or equal to 9. That should be false. So right here. And if it's the false branch, we get the 3. All right. So that should be the answer. So let me just go over here, type in 3, hit check. We got it right. Alright, so let's do one last one for good measure. Pause the video and see if you guys can beat me to the solution. I'm gonna go for spoilers in 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So I'm assuming that you guys took a good swing at it. And let's evaluate this and make sure and see if it's true. If true, we take the first expression. If not, we take the second expression, alright? So left to right. This one is to do an equal comparison, but we have to evaluate these two sub-expressions first. So in here, this is going to be equal to -9, right? And then -7, and then -9. Well, if you type it in and evaluate it, that's just going to be 16. Because if we type this out in infix notation, that's what it looks like. And of course, if you see two minuses, it has to be a plus. It turns into a plus, right? So it's going to be 16. So this thing is 16. And what is string length of NQVVL? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5. And we see that this whole expression results to false, because 16 does not equal 5, alright? And of course we take the false branch, which is DFSS. So that's the answer. Copy that. Alright, this is the answer right here. And copy that string and paste it in check. Alright. So try to wrap up finishing the rest of these problems, and once you're done, hit home, give yourself a check if you're comfortable, and all these other symbols for other things, alright? Okay, so I just want to mention that if you can't spot, which one's the true branch and which one isn't, which one's the false branch, well, you can always space out your code like this. So we can just do this right here. Alright, and we can now easily see, alright, it's just going to be the false branch, which is always the last line here. Kind of easy to see, right? And if this is not a Boolean, right? If this doesn't evaluate to a Boolean, let's say +1, 2, that's going to crash. It's going to say if question result is not true or false, it's 3. Yeah, this is equal to 3. 3 is not a Boolean, and it has to be either true or false. Alright? So that's about it for this one, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching, human. If you wish to interact with more of your kind, join our Discord linked in the description or on screen. If you want to aid in my quest for world domination, consider hitting the sub button. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it, thumbs down if you didn't. Any questions, comments, or suggestions, fire away below. Also, check out the annotations on screen for the next relevant video.